Penfolds Victoria Derby Day preview brought to you by Tab. I'm Marc Ohlmus with Grace Ramage. Grace, it's a bit like a spiritual celebration, and this is the sacred meeting place where we come to practice our faith. Melbourne Cup Carnival here at Flemington. Derby Day, let's go. Are you excited, Grace?
I absolutely cannot wait, Mark. And you're right, when you step onto this hallowed precinct and take a look at the lawn and the turf itself, and my favourite part are the roses. It is just spectacular. Derby Eve, cannot wait to get stuck into it. Immaculate grounds here at fabulous Flemington. The focal points for Penfolds Victoria Derby Day are, of course, the three Group 1s. The first of them comes up in race 6, the Coolmore Stud Stakes, up to 1,200 metres straight, and we get to see these 3-year-olds. If you're a 3-year-old colt, Grace, you win this race, you're worth $20 million. But in saying that, since this race moved to Derby Day, became a Group 1, fillies have a good record in the race. They've won it 6 times, and 2 geldings have also won the race. Got a Golden Slipper winner in this year's edition. Exciting. Who are you with? I mean, it's just a great race, isn't it? And each and every year it's a race that if you've got a fast 3-year-old, you circle the Coolmore Stud Stakes as a target at the end of the Spring Carnival for the Melbourne Cup Carnival. So, yes, it's a stallion-making race, and boy, oh boy, do we have some serious stallion prospects in this field. It's a great edition of the race. You've got Growing Empire, Traffic Warden. I mean, these horses have all bar won Group 1s already, and they're knocking on the door for that elite status victory that would just look so good on their CV. With the favourite Growing Empire, he's coming through 2 weight for age events, the Manikato Stakes against the older horses, and then the Everest, where he ran really well. I think that he's got a great chance in the race. My only query with Growing Empire is that he has been asked to peak a few times already. He's had a few grand final attempts. Whereas Traffic Warden, who was set to start a similar price to Growing Empire in the Everest, until unfortunately he was scratched just before the race took place and was scratched behind the barriers for playing up there. I think he's set to peak now. I think James Cummings, his trainer, has got him ready to unleash. He's like a coiled up spring, and all of his track work has been sensational. So of those 2 heavy hitting, stallion prospect 3-year-old colts, I'd be leaning towards Traffic Warden.
What about, we mentioned the Golden Slipper winner, Lady of Camelot. A quick word on her, but also place getters from the Golden Slipper coming to this race. The likes of Sunlight, Headway have a really good record in the race, which leads us to Coleman. A word or two on those 2 horses? Yeah,
Coleman, I mean, he is so consistent and he's always around the mark. So he comes through the race that Switzerland won last start, the Roman Consul up in Sydney. 3 of those horses coming out of that race now take their place down the Flemington Straight. The straight track itself could be a little bit of an unknown for some of those. We saw Switzerland and Coleman and also Gatsby's down the Flemington Straight in a jump out. So it's good that they've at least had some experience down the 6 furlongs here. But Lady of Camelot, I mean, she won a Golden Slipper. She almost should have won a Blue Diamond Stakes. She ran so well in the Everest, the same race as Growing Empire. She's probably stronger to the line than Growing Empire. So her toughness certainly gives her a great winning chance in this Coolmore.
So you're expecting Godolphin with Traffic Warden to win the Coolmore Stud Stakes in 2024?
Yeah, I think so. I think I'm with Traffic Warden, and Gatsby's is the one at a price. Okay. Blinkers going on for the first time. Damien Lane in the saddle, a nice middle draw. I think he's set to have his grand final. So at $26, I can see Gatsby's running in the money and adding some value to the bets.
Now to the second of the Group 1s. It's the race that the day's named after, the Penfolds Victoria Derby, also for the 3-year-olds, but over the staying trip of 2,500 metres. What was notable about this race when looking at the form, Grace, there are 4 horses, a couple of Danny O'Brien runners, also the likes of Peru. Blinkers coming off. Half the battle to winning this race is to getting your 3-year-old to settle. Who have you ended up with here? Give us a quick run through. I think it's a really competitive edition of the Penfolds Victoria Derby, and those at the top of the market I think have all got really good winning chances. El Costello on the quick 7-day backup after winning a Group 1 Spring Champion Stakes at Randwick last Saturday. I mean, that's always been a recipe for a horse to be well respected in the betting and run really well on that quick backup out to the 2,500 metres. So he's got a good chance. My question mark is for him, barrier 18. There's a lot of speed in this race, so I just wonder how much energy he might have to use to get a position up near the speed in the early stages. So to answer your question, the 2 that I'm siding with both come out of another race 7 days ago, but the Moonee Valley Vars at Moonee Valley last Saturday, 2040 metres. Both politely done and also King of Thunder. They didn't win the race,
but I love the way that they didn't seem to corner that well around the tight turning circuit of the valley. Once they straightened, they really let down. I expect both of those horses to relish the big, spacious Flemington track, and I think we'll be seeing them doing their best work late.
Love that. Those two. Go again, Grace.
Politely done. And also King of Thunder.
For John O'Shea coming down from Sydney. That's the Derby. Also wanted to ask you what your thoughts were around coming back a week from the Spring Champion Stakes. Hasn't been done for too long with the changing of the fixturing around the Spring Champion Stakes. It's got that wide draw. Do you think they'll go forward with El Costello, or do you think they'll go back?
I think they'll go forward if it begins well, but there is a lot of speed in the race, and I think a lot of natural on-pace types that'll all want to be handy enough to the speed. So he may have to spend some petrol in the early stages of the race, which may take away from his finish.
Terrific. We move on to the last of the Group 1s of the day. Race 8, the Tab Empire Rose Stakes over 1,600 metres for the fillies and mares. No fillies lining up in this year's edition, but we have the favourite at Tissue for James McDonald and Chris Waller. Ran second in this race last year. Chris Waller has previously won the race. He's previously quinelled the race. And Chris Waller has such a masterful system in place that he can back horses up from 2,000 metres back to a mile. We've seen it done with horses like Rangi Rangdu, going back a very long time now. He's your man, and many, many others. So if that's turning off punters, it probably shouldn't. Are you with the mare?
Yeah, I really am. And to be honest, of the 3 Group 1s on the day, I feel like this is the one which is most obvious, the winning chances. And to me, there's only 2 main winning chances in this race. And the first one, of course, is the favourite, the Tissue. I don't think getting back from 2,000 metres to a mile now is a problem at all. In fact, it's funny with this mare. She's had plenty of recent starts. She's, deep into her spring campaign, but I think she's only starting to really thrive now. She's 3 weeks since we saw her fast finishing in the Might and Power Stakes over 2,000 metres. But I just think she's ready to go, and her track work suggests that she's absolutely airborne. So she'll be back. James McDonald aboard. He's probably set to have a massive day. I think I've found him on 5 or 6 winners throughout the day. J Mac knows how to ride her. She'll be back blending in, swooping, and I think she'll win the Empire Rose, and we may see her then back up in the Champion Stakes on the final day, like we did last year, the race which she won. The other winning chance in the race for me is Plenty of Ammo. She's right down the bottom of the race book, but she really does deserve some respect here. She comes here third up. It looks like a set play, and both starts this campaign, including a win last Saturday, have been super. So I think that she's the next best winning chance.
How about the Kiwi mare Orchestral? 2 runs in this time, 1 in New Zealand, 1 over here, without probably all the luck that could have gone away, but finished home so well in the Toorak. Blinkers go on for the first time. Does have the wide draw, which could be a blessing in disguise. 3 wide with a bit of cover. How do you see her hopes?
Oh, she's got a really good chance, no doubt about that. I just wonder if maybe it's all come a bit too soon for Orchestral. In the Toorak Handicap last start, she had no luck at all. And it was basically just a dash home for her once she was able to check off heels and get clear galloping room. So I think she'll be in the mix, whether she's hard fit enough, hitting her grand final with the right preparation to be winning a Group 1 Empire Rose is the only question mark. But she's got the talent, we know that. So
you're following James McDonald, we know that, but are there any other tips around Penfolds Victoria Derby Day that you can lead the punters into?
Well, the 2 jockeys that I seem to have found the most on Derby Day, James McDonald and also Damien Lane. He's aboard a mare from the Mick Price and Michael Kent Jr. stable in race number 3 called Charm Stone. She's had a long break. First up last start, she was excellent against the track bias, and last preparation, almost a year ago now, her 3-year-old form was very, very good. I think she's going to stamp her authority as a proper sprinting mare here, and you're still getting a pretty good price about her. I think she'll win Charm Stone, that is, in race number 3, and I'm also keen on Powers of Opal in the Wakeful, race number 5.
There you have it from Grace Ramage. That's all you need to follow. She's been in rare form recently, so let's hope that rolls into the Melbourne Cup. Carnival Grace, always a pleasure. Wishing punters joining in and tuning in, watching us, all the best of luck and many, many winners.
Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.